Welcome back. We have with us Mayor Lily Mei. Welcome to Radio Mirchi 1310. Mayor Lily Mei, we are honored to have you with us.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you and your audience today.
Yes, elections are just a few days away from us and so much going on. We would want you to tell what is your agenda this time especially.
Sure. Thank you. It's been a privilege for us to serve the community of Fremont. And we are so fortunate in our city to have a rich diversity of cultures and heritages. And the key things that I'm working on right now are pertaining to COVID and about our responsiveness. That's one of the key areas. And that means everything from being physical health in terms of wellness, mental health, and also physical health. So physical health means things like having testing centers available. And I'm so proud that Fremont was the second city in the Bay Area to stand a testing center that was free and focused in particular first on our first responders, because those who are delivering wellness to our communities need to be healthy and safe, our frontline workers, and then anyone who was symptomatic. So that opened up in April. And then we moved to mobile testing. So we tested our skilled nursing facilities. So those that are seniors and most at risk. We have over 70 skilled nursing facilities in Fremont. And then we also focused on having different testing locations. So the most recent ones have been near City Hall, and we've partnered with Bay Area Community Health Services as well as Asian Health Services. And those testing centers are available by appointment at no cost. So for people, as long as they reach out and schedule the appointments, and some of them have also been walk clinics at North Fremont. We've had them for 3 weeks now at the Los Cerritos Community Center, which is right next to American High, and also Bay Area Community Health Center had one 2 weeks ago at Kennedy High School, and then they have regular testing available through their sites near City Hall. And so other things, as I said, that are focused for us are traffic and transportation and housing. And we've opened up our homeless navigation center, and that has been something that we've been trying to connect people with services because we realize how important it is for people to have connections and services when they're at risk right now through this economic impact. We as a city have given out over $400,000 in rental assistance through our community block development grants, $400,000 in small business grants, and have also worked with our Health and Human Services to deliver over 20,000 boxes of food and over 100,000 face masks and about 15,000 face coverings. So those are just some of the key things that we've been working on lately. And I look forward to doing so much more.
Right. November 3rd on the ballot, your name would be there. I just want you to address this very blatant question that why would anybody vote for Lily Mei? What can we look forward in the coming next term? What would you be offering? What kind of a fresh perspective or better management than you've earlier done?
I think that what would be my assets in terms of why people should consider me as a representative. I'm a resident in the community, and I'm proud to call this home. I moved here as a young graduate, young married couple, and I've raised my family here. And so I have experience here as a resident for over 26 years, raising my families. I was a representative for the school board for 2 terms, and I also was the state president for Asian school board members. I've been on city council and now as your mayor, and I'm in the National League nationally for the Asian Pacific American municipal elected officials. In our city's history, I'm the first woman, first Asian, and first minority mayor in our 63-year history. What do to move us forward? That's an important conversation with the Silicon Valley leadership, fellow mayors, as well as with our businesses. We published the publication called Building a Better Normal and talking about how we are going to reopen, reimagine, and deliver. And I can some finite, concrete examples of some of the ways that we've adapted recently. For example, businesses are trying to reopen or manufacturing. We have over 900 manufacturers here in Fremont. And during this time period, usually when it comes to permitting, sometimes it takes for some of these businesses easily 4 to 6 weeks, not longer, to get a permit for a new construction of facility. One of our companies, which makes critical components, COVID test kits, biogenics, instead of taking 4 to 6 weeks to process their permit, we were able to do it in partnership with safe social practices, doing things virtually into our council. We were able to process their permitting in less than 1 week with an emergency council meeting. That means a company like Evolve and Evonik, who used to be creating diabetes test kits, they pivoted to making COVID test kits, the demand that's out there, as well as through ventilators. In that time period, I was at the facility, worked with them. Over at this date, I just want to let people know we've contributed and made over 1 test kit.
You are Fremont's first woman, first Asian American mayor in 63 years, as you mentioned. Do you think there's any advantage or disadvantage to you for that regard?
Well, I'll tell you, I think that in a community that's one of the 10 cities in the United States, it's certainly a privilege to be able to represent. I was born in Chicago, grew up in Pennsylvania, that time period when I was there for my first 24 years. I think that through the current experience with my parents coming as immigrants and seeing hate crimes and other, discrimination because of the fact that I think there's a lot of false messaging that's being spread, it's important for us to be able to have someone who we can talk to as a leader who understands everyone to be feeling safe, protected, and respected. That's why I'm proud that we had a discussion here as a city to stand united against hate. That's why also during this period when people started coming up with some messaging, especially around COVID-19, originally calling it the Wuhan virus or other much more derogatory terms, that I was able to work with the DA and also here in the city to create awareness of hate crime awareness flyers. And we stand proudly to work with all of you, community. When I was on the school board visiting temples, visiting Jewish temples, we have interfaith and celebrations. This is what's important for our community, to recognize that each culture and heritage brings different perspectives and wonderful traditions to share.
California, we have a tier system about reopening. In Fremont, are you using any other specific system apart from the California-wide guidelines for reopening? Because you have a lot of businesses there, and as you say, you are doing a lot. The challenges are of paramount importance right now. So what are the other things apart from the California-wide guidelines you're following?
So we have California guidelines, and that was a decision of the governor that we would follow what the county. And so in Fremont, we have the Alameda County Public Health Services that sets those tiers and those definitions. But what we as a city can do is that we can work with our economic development to help small businesses get ready for those. For example, when we saw that they were going to be reopening restaurants, we've had a pop-up patio process, our business opening, but opening in a way that we know is safe and healthy, and looking at ways to help support the businesses. We've also had, and so we're working with the county, we're looking at different programs, we're working with small business for Alameda County in terms of some training programs that we had a couple months ago. That was a 10-week class for free to talk to people how can you open a business in this process. And it was so popular, it sold out. We had a second session right now starting soon. And that's why also many people who are looking for jobs, we've been able to have these career bites in partnership with the Lee College, the Tri-City Career Center, and with our small business historic districts, as well as the Chamber of Commerce, to create awareness. As mentioning earlier, the companies like Evolve Evonik, when they're reopening to build COVID test kits, we created a job seminar with Zoominar, and we were able to share that they had over 300 positions open, and to let people know about these types of opportunities, what types of skill sets they're looking for, and to connect people to these jobs.
With COVID, there are so many other repercussions. Health is one issue, mental health is another issue, and there's another issue of rent. People are finding it hard to pay their rent. Small businesses are suffering. What are the facilities you are envisaging providing them in the coming times? As we move forward into the situation, we have to grapple with more challenges. What is your plan to tackle with such problems?
Sure. As I mentioned here, we had provided $400,000 out of our community block development grant given by federal level. We've provided $400,000 in small business grants, $400,000 in rental assistance, so that's over $800,000 for the county to get another $250,000 in small business grants. We have also partnered with different organizations and their outreach to our community. For example, I sit on the board for EBCE, with option for energy for our homes and our businesses. And because of the fact that we do so much business with them during this time of struggle, we were able to get them to give $200,000 in grants. And so we are utilizing those opportunities, publicizing them through our city and through our different organizations. And we certainly are trying to encourage people to apply for those opportunities. And we know that recognition, this time period, is much a struggle for many people. And so we're trying to figure out how can we get those and continue to advocate that came from the federal level. The way it was determined, it was only for cities that were greater than 500,000 in population. And not one city in Alameda qualifies. But we were able to get from the state $2.9 million and that's important because we spent $625,000 and over $3 million in our labor to support that.
What would you think would be Fremont's accomplishment? We are in the heart of Silicon Valley. You have so much of business going on. What would you say that is Fremont's major accomplishment?
Fremont's best accomplishment, I think, is the people. I think that, great things get started in Fremont. We have the most startups per capita of almost any in the United States. We have some of the greatest amount of EV infrastructure. So encouraging people to transition from gas-powered vehicles to electric vehicles. We also have incredible resource in terms of our education, which is why I chose to make Fremont my home. As a parent who had a trip places to and just my family, I chose Fremont because of the people that are involved, that my children have the opportunity to get to know their neighbors, to get to know their community, and to be part of a rich culture of diversity and heritages. And so that's why I'm choosing Fremont as my home, and I'm proud to represent it and have the privilege to serve as their mayor. And I hope that come November 3rd, that proves to be, again, the opportunity, and I would be so blessed if I were to be elected for the 5th time.
Thank you so much for your time. Just, you can wrap up and give a closing remark to our listeners. Once again, we commend you for all the wonderful job you're doing and all the challenges you are facing. And please give a closing remark for our listeners.
Sure. Thank you so much for allowing me to come in today for even just a little piece of time. I would love to share, and I could send you the connection for our State of the City, which talks about some of our responsiveness. But what makes Fremont special is that we recognize it's not just one person as a leader, it's not the city council, it's the fact that we work with all of our communities and our businesses and our neighborhoods to make it a place that we're proud to call home. And that I hope that whether you vote for me or for anyone else, that you take advantage of this opportunity to vote. It's important that you make your voice heard. And that's what I'm proud to be able to advocate as your neighbor, as your friend and community member. Thank you for your time today. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share. And I wish all of you the best this weekend. Much blessings, and to be well and stay healthy.
Thank you so much. Good luck to you for your campaign, and we wish you all the luck, and we wish to say that you should be doing more of public service in the coming years. Thank you so much.